So Tam, today we're just gonna do a coaching session. I know that we've sat down and we talked the last couple of weeks about different behaviors and your performance and things like that. So I just kind of want to take a minute to just kind of go over a couple things with you. First question I want to know is, do you remember what your SMART plan is?
Yeah, offering more positioning statements.
Okay. All right, absolutely. So when we first started talking the first of the month, we did want to go through and just, kind of use some additional positioning statements like, I'll be more than happy to assist you with that and things like that, just to kind of move your cause forward as well as make sure that we got you where you needed to be at goal, right? So if you look here, going over the last couple months, the last couple weeks, everything has increased for you, right? Your FCR was at a 66.67. It's now at a 68, which is a great job. Definitely want to commend you on that. Your up was at a 9.4. You are now at a 9.50. Your CRT is good. Of course, our goal is 630 or below, and you are at a 609. And then your NPS. Wow, what a drastic change. I mean, the beginning of the month you started out at a 50 in NPS, and now you're at 75. That is a wonderful job. That's what we're looking for, right? So tell me about the positioning statements. How do you think that they're helping your performance?
Well, it just makes the customer feel like they're going to get help, their issue is going to get resolved, and that they have called and got the right person to assist them on their issue.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I definitely agree with that, right? Just making sure that the customer knows for sure that we're going to get them taken care of. It is definitely going to increase your numbers, right? So that was our game plan beginning of January, and you have continuously went in and did exactly what we talked about, which is why you see so much improvement in your numbers, okay? So now what we want to do is we want to continue to set you up for the end of the month and going into February, right? So we did just listen to a call, right? And I believe it was the payment that you had taken, right? And the customer called in wanting to reset their payment arrangement, but you didn't do that. What did you do on that call? Did you take a payment, right? And that's one of the things that we've been working on, right? Just trying to collect DDC and making sure we get that up. How was that call for you?
It was good.
It was good, right? What do you think you did good on the call, which is why the customer made a payment?
Well, I advised them the essentials of the arrangement, that if I was to remove it with them being at 30 days past due, we wouldn't be able to set it up on another one. So I asked the customer to make the payment that will get them at 30 so that we can set it up on another arrangement to extend the payment out further to help them out.
Absolutely. And I think that's good, right? Even though the customer's calling in to reschedule, you still ask for the money. I think a lot of times that kind of gets distorted, or we might feel that the customer really can't make a payment, but you did exactly that. You asked for the payment, which was good. So I definitely want to commend you on that call. We're going to try to continue to push through and be consistent with just asking for the money, right? So as we go through the next month, we do kind of want to take a minute and just try to see about, since you have excelled at this particular SMART plan, we want to try to set you up on another one, right? Set you up on something to where not only are you meeting and exceeding numbers, but you're at 150% all across the board, right? So I think one major thing that we could possibly do while you're on a call is verbalize a visual audit, right? That's something that we had kind of talked about evolving into. Tell me about verbalizing a visual audit. What does that consist of?
Just check in, to see what caused them to call in more than 3 times within 2 days.
Sure.
And see what their issue is, see if that issue has been resolved, as well as if they have an upcoming payment, advise them of that so that they won't have to call in and be like, well, when is my bill due? And I just look at that tenure, recognize that as well.
Right. So I think these are great things, and I think these are if you agree with me, I think that these are great things that we can implement in the upcoming month, right? Verbalizing a visual audit on the phone. Of course, we look at these things, but also talking to the customer about it, right? So, what are a couple things that you said you look for the last 3 times the customers called in? What else was it?
How many times they called in?
Mm-hmm.
The upcoming payment date.
Payments. Okay. Tenure.
And that's about it.
Okay. So payments, right? How many times they called in, tenure. There was a couple of things that we had in a meeting earlier in the looking at reviewing the memos, right, just to see why the customers called in the last couple of months. I know that was one thing that we looked at. And then, of course, when we're looking at the payment, we want to check and see if they have a payment arrangement schedule or something like that as well. So let's definitely make sure that we kind of look and see if they have a payment arrangement, future data payment, anything like that as well, okay? So are these things that you think that you can do in the upcoming month to make sure that we get those numbers?
Those are things that I do every month, BJ.
Right. I mean, and they are, right? I think it's more about consistently, right? We want to make sure that we're doing it on every single call, right? Even with the dealers, we want to make sure that we verbalize that visual audit. So if
I be trying to tell them that their payment is past due.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I definitely think these are things that we can implement consistently, right? You say you're already doing them. I've listened to your calls. I know that you're doing them. We just want to try to be more consistent and see if we can do them on every single call. Make sense? Is that something you can do? Absolutely. All right. Well, as far as our coaching, great job on last month. You really killed it. Number one on the team when it comes to your metrics. Definitely appreciate that. We want to make sure that not only are we implementing this for your smart plan, but I definitely want to try to get you involved a little bit more, right? I'm going to try to see if I can get you to assist some of the other experts on the floor, because I mean, you are a tenured expert, so you really know how to do that. So let's try to implement that as well, okay? Awesome.